For my Science 9 final project, I want to test if Jack could fit onto that door that you see here that Rose is on. In the movie, he dies, but I want to know if he could have lived, and if he couldn't, why not? These are the materials that I used to conduct this experiment. A piece of wood with the same size and width as a door scaled down, a set of small weights, and some water with the same salinity as ocean water. This is the procedure that I used to conduct this experiment. In the 2 liters of water in your bucket, add 70 grams of salt so that it emulates seawater. Next, add your piece of wood to the water. Then add the weight amount that would equal Jack and Rose together onto that piece of wood and see what happens. As you can see from these pictures, size was not actually an issue here. Here was how buoyant the piece of wood would be and if it would keep them afloat and out of the water, because the water was really cold and they were in the Arctic. I ran the test a second time to see if I would get the same results as I had the first time. While you watch this, I want to tell you why this topic interested me. The topic interested me because I always wondered if some things in movies were real or not, and so I tried to test one of the things I saw in a movie and find out what happens. And a third time. After getting the same results, I have concluded that it is the same. Now for my analysis results. Here you can clearly see a boat made of metal that holds up 4.5 gram weights. Why is this? It's because of buoyancy. Buoyancy, the mass of the object is being weighed down by gravity, and that density of the object is pushing away water. The more water it pushes away, the more that density of the fluid is pushing back up, and so it floats. Here you can see me dumping one of my weights into the water, and you can see that it sinks instead of actually floating because it is less buoyant than gravity, and gravity pulls it all the way down to the bottom. This works in the same way except reverse, as I just said. Here you can see me trying the same experiment except with a lighter light weight so that it actually might float. Here you can clearly see that the weight actually floats on top of the wood instead of sinking. This is because of the density of 1.025 grams per every centimeter cubed that is salt water. This actually works because the force pushing up is greater than the force pulling down on the weight and the piece of wood. Conclusion. In conclusion, I learned that my hypothesis that it would not work was actually correct, and that if they had both gotten onto the piece of wood, they would have sank and froze in the cold ocean. Also, in reflection, I'd like to say that I thought this was a very interesting result, and I learned quite a bit about buoyancy and how things float and why things sink. Parts of my project that I found difficult to execute were when I tried to put the weights on top of the piece of wood. Sometimes it would imbalance, and also trying to emulate salt water without actually having any ocean nearby.